Hey friends and book lovers, welcome or welcome back. Today's video is my January TBR video. These are all the books that I am planning to read for the month of January. And let me tell you, I am filming this video and I'm still a little unsure of what my January TBR will look like. January is going to be a really busy month for me in terms of just having a lot of things to do on the weekends. So I don't know how much reading I'll get done, and because of that I'm not really sure what I'll be in the mood to read when I do have time to read. The month of December was really unpredictable and I was super busy, so I didn't get to read a lot, and there are some books from December that I do want to roll over into January that I will be talking about in this video, so just stay tuned. That all remains unclear. At the time of this filming I'm in the middle of like 5 books or something and I have not progressed in like any of them. I gave a book in December like priority over all others and it just kind of consumed me, and it was like a long chunker. So I put together this TBR with this huge disclaimer of I'm gonna see if I can get to these, but my January TBR might end up being a combination of these books plus some of the books that I had lined up for December. So without further ado, let's get into the books that I am planning and hoping to read in the month of January. So currently I'm reading The Eye of the World for the Wheel of Time series, and I really want to have that done by December. And with that goal in mind, I am then going to be reading The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan in the month of January. There's a couple folks that are reading this in January and I would really like to join them. This is the mass market paperback, the new one, and it's about like 600-700 pages long. So for the size, it's not horrible, and I think that it's definitely doable in a month. I don't know that I can read a ton of books this size in January, but definitely it's doable. So if I haven't finished The Eye of the World, that will be included in January's TBR plus The Great Hunt. So I'd like to get both of these done by the end of January and move on with the series. I have been watching the TV show little by little. I want to read and be further in the books by the time I finish the first season that's been released so far, but we'll see. I don't know if that's looking so good, but I'm hoping now that I'm kind of more on vacation that I'll have more drive and more energy to just go ahead and really read. So fingers crossed that I'll get some time to do that. The next book is my Discord buddy read, actually, and in the month of January the book that won the Elantris Discord buddy read was These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. I actually have the book sleeve here because the actual book itself is wrapped up in this beautiful dust jacket that I got, and I needed a book to experiment on, so I just took These Hollow Vows. So I have it here currently, but this is the dust jacket for it, and I'm excited to read this. I've heard that it's very similar to books by Sarah J. Maas and fae type of books and Cruel Prince type of books. I love a good fae story. I think they're so fun, so I think this book is going to be right up my alley. I am really excited to dive into this and just see what it is about and kind of where the story lands us. This is going to be a duology with the second book coming out in the middle of this year, and I'm really looking forward to that book because I'm really anticipating that I'm going to love and enjoy this book enough to really be excited about the conclusion of the duology. This is a YA fantasy pick, so it's definitely in the YA genre, and while YA can definitely be a little formulaic at times, I'm still really excited because I think it's still going to be really fun, and I love a good fae story. I don't know too many fae stories that are just purely adult unless they're like more steamy, smutty fantasy romance. So if there are other good fae stories that are adult, definitely let me know, but so far I've only ever found them in YA, and I will continue to probably love them in the YA genre. So I'm excited for this to be our Discord buddy read. I hope that everyone enjoys it and has a really good time reading it. We're definitely starting to read this on January 1st, and I've given folks time to just collect the book and get it if they can. So if you'd like to join us for this buddy read this month, definitely click on the Elantris Discord link below and join the Discord, and then join us for a buddy read. We have buddy reads every month, and it's just a really fun time. It's still a small, cozy Discord, and we are all just chatting and loving chatting about the books we're reading and upcoming books that are being released, so it's really, really fun. Okay, so this next one, I want to read it purely before I start the big epic series, and that is Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. Now, I really want to read Way of Kings this year. That is a big goal of mine, and as such, Elantris is a really big goal of mine to read in the year of 2022. I want to read this before Way of Kings because obviously the Stormlight Archives are supposed to be way more exciting and really interesting and really involved and well woven and just mind-blowing. I know that Elantris is supposed to be good, but it's not as amazing as the Stormlight Archive books, so I want to read this before I dive into something much more exciting by him. And since this is his debut novel that he did just solely by himself, I really want to see what it is about and kind of if I'm going to like it. So far, I really enjoy his writing. It's very utilitarian, it's very easy to understand, very straightforward, but his stories are really interesting. I read the Mistborn Era 1 trilogy, which I really did enjoy, and I also read Warbreaker, which is also a great time, so I'm looking forward to what Elantris brings me, and I might try to read it on audio as well, just because I do need an audiobook, and I think this one might be a good option to have, so I might read this either physically or on audio. And the last book that I have on here is actually a continuation of a series that I've been meaning to finish that I actually started January of 2021 and then never read on. It's a quartet. It's quite famous. It got super booktube famous in 2021, and I just really want to continue and read on because I've heard it just gets better and better. And that is the Faithful and the Fallen series. I'm holding up Malice right now because Valor is still upstairs. It's been upstairs for months and I still haven't read it, but I want to read Valor in January of 2022 since I read Malice a year ago. I don't think I need to reread this because I actually still remember quite a lot from this story, and I think that Valor will just put me right back into the story. Plus, I've tabbed up some important parts that if I feel like I need to go back to, I can just read these important parts and kind of get myself back to where I need to be for the important bits that will be in Valor. So I'm hopeful that I'll get to Valor in January, though it's not super high priority just because I'm trying to finish the books for December. But if not, Valor is a really high priority series on my to read lists this year, which are coming out soon, but it's very high priority, so I'm hoping to just keep trying to fit it in where I can, because once I get to Ruin, I need to read Ruin and Wrath back to back, so those will be binge reads, and I'm hoping that I enjoy the rest of the series as much as I did enjoy Malice. So here's to finally finishing The Faithful and the Fallen this year. And for the rest of January, I'm either going to finish up books that I am currently reading and just kind of need to get out of the way, or I'm going to pick up some mood reads. I really would like to read nonfiction in January, so even if I don't finish that in January, I would still like to start it. And I always really enjoy reading a good fantasy romance. It's just like a fun book genre to have in my back pocket between some really epic fantasy things. So if I get the chance, I will definitely try to be reading a fantasy romance in the month of January. So I very much look forward to this month, and I'm hoping that I can make it a point to prioritize reading in January, even though I will be very busy with other things like traveling and other engagements that I have already arranged. If you have any really great books that you're reading in January, please comment down below. I love hearing what y'all are reading, and let me know if any of the books that I have on my list are books that you really enjoyed in your own reading. And as always, if you like this video, please click that like button. That really does help support my channel. And if you like this content and you want to see more from me, please don't hesitate to subscribe.